Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Higher Caliber Podcast. Today, me and Jared are sitting here with Carmone and Duncan from the Phoenix Brewing Company. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really awesome. We tried extensively to mesh our schedules up, and we finally did it. So I'm super happy about that. If you want, why don't you guys give us a little intro about yourselves, who you are, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'll start. Duncan McFarlane from Phoenix Brewery. We're 1/3 ownership, basically. We're downtown Mansfield. For those who don't know, brewery. We have a tap room, beer garden, and we distribute within about 75 miles our draft or 4-pack cans. We've been open since 2014, so 11 years is coming up on 12 years in April of 2026.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I just panicked.
He covered most of the intro for you. But
Yeah.
He did. Well, I was afraid my phone was on. I was panicking that it was going to ring. I'm Carmone McFarlane. I'm the creative and the marketing at the Phoenix Brewing Company. And I spent 20 years in education before that. And I think he covered pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just a start.
Just excited to be here and happy to still be trucking along in the craft beer industry after 12 years, especially after the last couple of years have kind of come through after COVID.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we love a good origin story. So how did you guys get started with a brewery?
Duncan was a home brewer for many years. And I think you started homebrewing the year after we were married. We were living in Columbus at the time, and it was hard to find some of the beers that we wanted to try to drink. And I got him a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas one year. And somebody else got him a Mr. Beer kit. So he got to try it twice before deciding that he really liked it. So he began buying up equipment, small, homebrewing equipment, and wanting to not have to do the extract method that homebrewers often start off with, which is, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a great way to make a craft beer, and especially if you don't have access to certain resources. So he decided he wanted to try to go full scale like brewers would do with grains, started yeast farming, they're culturing.
You just got all into it.
He got all into it.
Wow. So is the extract, is that like a prepackaged, like everything's in there?
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
just,
It's like
the sugar for beer fermentation comes from malted barley. So instead of like doing a mash, it just comes as a syrup.
Okay.
So you skip the mash step, and then the boil is kind of the same. Fermentation's the same. So it just skips the first, couple hours.
Gotcha.
Of the brew day.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
So he started, teaching other people over time, training them on how to brew at home, and it kind of evolved into we met someone through someone that I worked with, and this mutual friend wanted to learn more about homebrewing. So he then began talking to Duncan, saying, you really need to open up a brewery. You really need to open up a brewery. And lo and behold, in 2012,
we found the building in 2013 or 2012.
2012, legislation changed, and the license to open a brewery and manufacture and serve your own alcohol changed. And it was $1,000 for the year for that. So
Instead of 4,000.
instead of $4,000.
Oh, wow.
Well,
So
it was 4,000 to make it and 4,000 to have a tap room.
Dang.
And if you just wanted to serve your own beer, it went from 8 to 1,000.
Okay.
And that's certainly made a big difference in
Yeah,
2012
for
with
sure.
a lot of breweries that went into planning at that point.
And that's when it really took off, right? Was that something to...
That was big. And then you have the alcohol, the max alcohol in beer before 2003 was 6%.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you couldn't have an IPA because they're over 6. So
Yeah, for
sure.
I didn't know what an IPA was,
Right.
And then it later on, it went to 11%. And then eventually they took the cap off, and it's like 20, anything over 24% is controlled by the state as spirits. So,
Okay.
so basically you can make beer up to 24% or whatever.
Wow.
But anyway, I digressed.
So, Scott kept telling Duncan, you should open up a brewery. And then this happened, and Scott came in and said, "Hey, there's a class. If you're interested in coming and taking this class with me." And Duncan said, "Maybe." And Scott said,
Business class.
it was a business class through the
Okay.
SCORE Institute, the Small Business SCORE Institute.
Mhm.
And they mentioned that dinner was included. So that was gung ho. Yeah, you should just go take the class.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to
Yeah.
deal with that for, 1 day a week, for a couple of months. And our friend Steve was also part of that conversation. So Duncan, Steve, and Scott opened.
Yeah, that's the short version.
That's the
Had you had any business experience before?
No, Scott did. I have just science, environmental science degree. So my
Okay.
background is science and chemistry and biology, and helps with the brewing process. But no, that was not it was helpful for me, for sure, for anyone.
Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
First few seasons? Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe for a second.
Right.
it's not
A
an
little
offset.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, a little different.
No, I'm making meth.
I'm thinking of the opening scene of the first season in the Winnebago, cooking it up. I guess sort of like
Science
that.
teacher turns, yeah.
Now, how long had you homebrewed?
About 99 started, and yeah, so I had enough experience, and I wasn't geeking out on yeast farming, like she said. And
What? So I know that's a new term for me. So what exactly is yeast farming?
I think the first reasons I made beer was to save money. You hear that a lot, but back then,
Sure.
Mhm.
If you really got into nuts and bolts, you would save money. So yeast was back then was like $7 a pack per batch.
Okay.
And that was a pretty big expense. The rest of it wasn't too expensive.
Yeah.
So I would take some of that yeast, separate it, and keep it on an agar slant, like a petri dish, sort
Okay.
of, in a test tube. Keep it, and you keep those up to 6 months, and then before the 6 months, I would re-slant it on another agar,
Okay.
and you could keep it going forever. So I had like 30 different test tubes of yeast slants that I could make anything I wanted for basically nothing, as far as that
For sure.
that part of it.
For
Anyway.
sure.
It was a savings.
But
So.
that's one thing. Just knowing the chemistry, biology behind brewing.
Right.
I thought that at least that part I could. You never know when you start
Right.
something new.
Now,
Is
did I'm assuming you're the head brewmaster?
Brewmaster would be a degree in brewing science. Head brewer.
You're the head brewer.
Yeah.
Okay. Did any of the other people in your organization, were they brewers at all, or are they just business people? Or
I helped Scott brew a little bit. Zig, we call him Zig. Steve Zigman. Zig, I don't remember if he had brewing
He
experience.
did, yeah. Zig was homebrewing as well.
We definitely had a lot of experience in going and drinking craft beer. All of us,
Yeah.
for sure.
okay. Did you said talking with Chris Nicewonder,
Mhm.
he had told me that like there is a lot of science behind brewing beer, and I think that's
Mhm.
pretty fascinating because he was talking about water and like I would never think that I got to make sure the water is right and all this stuff. So I mean,
And that was my background, was water, basically water
That's really interesting.
analysis and all that. So
that's
Perfect.
really
Water is
interesting.
Perfect
important.
storm, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've had beers that the water has not been.
Up to snuff.
We've had beers where the water has not been, where it's been just brewed with, and you'll get notes of like Band-Aid, medicinal notes.
if you're
There's
not
They-
paying attention
if
to
they're
the
not paying
water
attention to the
and how
water,
it's transported to the tanks,
Really?
like rubber hoses. And
Yeah,
you got to
if
have
you're-
food grade.
it's a lot of steps.
See, that's a lot of
Great
things
stuff.
people don't think
They don't-
about,
they don't
especially
realize
even
that.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So is there a process that you actually transform the water at your facility, or do you bring water in from
Yeah.
the
So
mountains or something?
right, that's interesting. Like down in Columbus, Anheuser-Busch went in and they actually worked with the local water department and told them they might have even put money into it. Just this is what we want the water to be because we're going to use a lot of it. So
Right.
Columbus has great water. Mansfield has great water. It's just we have to remove chlorine mainly, and other than that, it's all from the reservoir, and they have wells that they blend, so clean water in the area. So it's just chlorinated, and we get rid of that. So no reverse osmosis or anything like that. We use Mansfield city water that we just filter.
Gotcha. what
There's
was
a few batches that are reverse osmosis
We tried
that
some
we've tried.
RO water.
Yeah.
Didn't see the benefit necessarily. I mean, so like the lighter beers, Pilsners and blonde ales, you want softer water, which we don't have real soft water. But we tried that, but it's not worth the expense.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
not worth it? Yeah.
Yep.
Do all different varieties? I you just kind of answered my question, but for the most part, do all the beers take the same water? For instance,
The water that we have in Mansfield is high in carbonate, so it's a hard water on the carbonate chalk, basically,
okay,
which is great for stout beers because the pH. Let's just say this quick: stout beers, the dark malt is acidic, so it counters the high pH or the high buffering alkaline water we have here. So it's actually just perfect as it is for stouts or dark beers. We have to acidify slightly for beers that don't have the acidity inherent in the recipe, like light grains are not as acidic.
gotcha.
So they won't counter that high pH. So we add food grade acid just to bring the pH in the mash down, and we're fine after that.
Perfect. One more beer question. What is your what's the total timeline, like process? Like, I'm gonna start today, and how many days do you have a finish?
It probably
product?
starts a year ahead for us.
Okay.
When we do a production map of the year, what we're going to batch, what we're going to brew, what time, for when,
Okay.
and then getting the ingredients on site on time and making sure everything's ordered, ready. And if that's all in house and everything's ordered, we have, I guess day before we'd have to mill the grain, make sure everything's together. And then brew day is about 6 to 7 hours where it's the mash.
Mm-hmm.
It's to transfer the lauter over to the kettle boil, the knockout, which is the cooling of the wort, the sugary liquid out of the kettle, transfer to the fermenter, add the yeast, close it off. That whole process is about 7 hours. And then fermentation up to 2 weeks. And then crash, which is cool the beer, carbonate it, separate off the yeast, and package. So we're talking a month.
A month.
Brew
Okay.
days 8 hours, and then a month to being ready.
Fantastic.
On average.
It's not too bad,
Well,
honestly.
it's quicker than wine, right? But
Okay.
not
Are you
it's
guys?
not tomorrow either. So
I know you guys have a was it the Bourbon Loft upstairs?
We have the spirit room
Spirit
at the
room.
Phoenix.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you guys making any of that, or
We are not distilling.
not distilling? Okay.
There is a distillery that's going to be opening up just down the hill from us,
Okay.
Ohio Shine.
Okay.
Cool.
So we're excited
we-
for them to open.
we just buy our spirits. It's part of that licensing change in Ohio, where you could add on liquor, wine, or guest beer. It's all kind of one license.
Okay.
So because of that, we're able to stock up on bourbons, whiskeys, scotches up in our spirit room.
Perfect. I've yet to be up there. I've been to the Phoenix several times, but
It's a beautiful.
I haven't
space.
been upstairs yet.
It's a
And we've
beautiful
collaborated with bourbons, Galleon, the Iron Vault, is it in Galleon Distillery?
Yeah.
We've actually sent our wort over there. They distilled it and then bottled it, and we branded it with our.
Mhm.
It was like a collab branding.
Very cool.
It's
but
called
we sold
Phoenix
that.
Fire.
Phoenix Fire whiskey, yeah,
Awesome.
single malt whiskey.
Very awesome.
It is actually really tasty. It's hard because you have to wait for it. You have to wait so long.
Yeah.
But it's
Yes, that's
it's
really
really
long.
good. They do a nice job. They have a lot of award-winning beverages as well. So
Awesome. Maybe we'll have to get them on, get their take on.
Yeah, they're
yeah,
fun
good people.
guys.
Distilling.
Yeah, they
Good
come in a
people.
lot.
Do they?
They're up in our beer room enough.
That's
Yeah, they're
awesome.
good. They're really good people too.
Yep.
So
So, what was it like, or did you face any challenges when you were scaling your business? Because that was your first tap room, correct?
Yes.
I mean, you didn't have one in your garage or house or anything.
No,
Like you
no.
were just like,
You just did it big
We're
right
doing it.
off the rip, huh?
It was scary.
Yeah.
Was it?
For sure. Every part of it.
were there any like notable challenges that you faced?
Old building. We found the building that we wanted.
Which is
but,
a very cool building.
but
If you want to
nothing-
talk about that a little bit.
yeah, nothing had
absolutely.
been in there as far as it was about 85 years since anything substantive was in there. It
Yeah.
didn't have water, didn't have gas. We found this out. Like we were gonna pay so much for adding water, and there was no water lines. I mean,
Mhm.
that increases cost right there.
Oh, for sure.
We'll take gas off Diamond Street. Oh, there's no gas line on Diamond Street. We have to go to the back alley and completely put in a new gas line. But that's just
Same
one
thing,
challenge.
electric.
The old building itself was a bit of a challenge, but we had a great architect. Dan Seckel was doing a lot of downtown projects with old historic buildings or non-historic, just old buildings.
Right.
And so we were lucky to have a great architect to put his vision on what the final product would be, and then coming up with cash, just streamlining, getting rid of cable, getting rid of anything we didn't need to spend money on, and just pool our money in. So we started off not taking out huge loans. We tried to
try to do what you can initially.
And we've done that till now. We've grown slowly.
Yeah. Was it kind of overnight to get customers, or was it word of mouth? Yeah, you said you're more the marketing person and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
How was that?
Yeah. What was it like on your end?
Well, I would say I didn't come on full time for marketing until about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So those first few years, and I'll just speak in general terms for that. It was really scary to think that we were going to open something up in Mansfield, and we loved craft beer, and we knew a lot of people who loved craft beer, but we didn't know if everybody in Mansfield would love craft beer.
We didn't know.
And the idea that this is, it could be this tremendous, like people might not come, but they did. And it was a good problem to have because we were busier than what we expected. And we went through so much beer that first month. They were out of beer. They were making beer nonstop. And then, our first brew system was a 5-barrel brew system, and they had 2 fermenters and 2 bright tanks. And they wound up immediately purchasing 2 more fermenters and 2 more bright tanks because we couldn't keep up with demand.
For sure.
Yeah, the beer was in a tank and it was being consumed, but I couldn't fill the tanks back up. I was just watching them go down every night. I'm like, and I wasn't in a cycle of brewing. Everything was full and everything was empty.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was no end in
took
sight.
some time. It's a logistics kind of an issue when you're trying to keep things available and you're trying to organize it with the tanks that you have. And for breweries that are just starting out, if they don't have a lot of tank space, which we didn't, it was like a 3-legged race to keep product available. And we opened up in April of 2014, and it was really cold. And then it was really wet. And then it was really, we didn't have outdoor spaces. So we were packed all the time and inside this tiny tap room.
Yeah, there was no patios then. It was just the 77 seats that we have in the house.
Yeah. But it was fantastic. And people came, and that was a
friend of mine. I said, we're doing a soft opening. We started with a soft opening. And I told a friend of mine who he knows a lot of people. I won't say his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He goes, I'm going to bring everyone I know, and we're going to pack your place. I'm like, you don't have to do that. And he did. And he helped. But I was like, maybe we need a softer, maybe I don't need to tell as many people.
We need a super soft opening.
Yeah. So
we had a few soft openings. We had a soft opening, and then we had private openings where we invited like local downtown businesses to come in and see the space. And I think what was nice was that people were very receptive and people were very welcoming to us, and people came in, and even the people that, were AB and Bev drinkers, your Bud Light, your Miller Lite, and your Coors Light, they were still willing to try things. Our first, we opened with founders and Mug Club members, and our founders, we had 50 founders who paid a fee to have, their mug on display and advance notice of things and some other things. And, the very first person that signed up was a friend of ours, and he didn't drink craft beer at all. He drank
Mick Ultra over ice.
Over ice.
Over ice.
Yeah. And I'm like, Kevin, why did you get a membership? Because I wanted to be number one. Am I a number one?
He wanted to be the first one, and he wanted to support.
What a good friend.
Yeah, he just wanted to be supportive.
About himself. No.
No, he wanted to support us. He wanted to support us. And it's crazy because, it didn't take very long. He had one beer that he would drink when he came in, and then all of a sudden he was drinking all kinds of beers when he came in.
He liked the malty, darker beers. So he didn't know.
He didn't know.
But
he didn't
that's what
know.
he liked.
I find that's a lot with people when they think they don't like it, but
I think
they got to try it all.
there's definitely the possibility of a lot more craft brew drinkers out there. They just don't they don't know,
Right.
and you have to explore.
He had no idea. But our other friend, we have like 3 of us who went to college together. Well, Kevin did, but we were like friends along, high school and beyond. But Kevin took into craft beer, but my other friend just never, he couldn't get a taste for it.
Yeah.
To this day, he's just,
That's
I just
okay.
don't understand
Yeah,
it.
don't
And it's
understand.
okay.
Does he
you know?
drink the other like a
Super light
beer?
Yeah. Ultra or whatever.
And that was me back in the day. And I think I
What, the high school?
well, yeah,
Part of it is it
Because they
doesn't
didn't
have
take a-
taste, and that's
yeah,
good by people like light beer.
for sure.
I like light beer too, but for the taste, if it has it, not for the lack of it. right?
Yeah.
Yes, and there's so many different, I guess you'd call them flavor profiles out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably one for you.
We saw a study on how people perceive taste as, like if they like taste or not. And there's a certain percentage who don't like the bitterness. Or remember that
Mhm.
it was like there's a third of the population who aren't going to like craft beer at all, just
Mm.
because of their taste and how they perceive taste. And
They
so they need their beer cold, ice cold, and tasteless, and that's what they like.
That's
It's
what they
just,
like.
It's just a certain percentage of the population's that way. Yeah.
the bitterness that comes
Mhm.
and it's not even it doesn't have to be a lot of hop for it to be noticeable for certain people.
Mhm.
I think it's like I said, years ago I tried an IPA. I have no idea what it was. You know what I mean? I'm like, I will never drink an IPA
Right.
again. And then a couple of years ago, I was with Chris and he was drinking an IPA. I'm like, man, those things suck. And he's like, well, there's a road, there's a pathway.
There's a pathway.
to
Yeah.
IPAs.
It sounds like
I can hear him saying that.
Oh yeah,
To me-
yeah. He's a great educator.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, when it comes to a multitude of things. But he got me started on the hazies, and then it just built from there. And now I don't want to say I'm an IPA snob, but I know what I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell people who I don't like IPAs, they're curious still. I tell them, wait till you're at least third or halfway through before you even tell me if you like it or not.
Yeah.
Like you force them because your palate has to adjust. Even when I drink an IPA, the first sip is kind of like,
That's a good point.
Hits
That's
you.
how it is. Yeah.
Yep.
and I said, just keep going. And you tell me when you get to hear what you think. And almost every time you're like, I could see drinking this. Maybe they say maybe not more than one,
Yeah,
but that's just their defense mechanism.
for sure.
So,
For sure. And the other thing that's interesting about craft beers, like you talked about, is the alcohol percentage in there. Coming from very light beers, I think the first time I visited you guys, and I'd had a little bit of experience in craft beers, but not a whole lot. I remember me and a friend stopped by after work. We were both off work. We're like, hey, let's go to the Phoenix because we've never been there. We sat down and I think we drank about, I don't know, 4 pints or something like that. And we went to stand up to go downstairs to tour the facilities down there. I'm like, oh wow,
yeah.
wow, that hits a little a little harder.
It's not 12 ounce. Like most beers come 12 ounce
Yeah.
bottle, and then it's a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
But it's mainly the volume and it's probably going down smooth. So that
For sure.
doesn't hurt.
for sure.
I was going to say, when you guys opened, even people that didn't like craft beer had to go check it out because it was something new in Mansfield.
Right.
Mhm.
And still, it's like part of Mansfield's identity now, I feel like, because we had people come from out of town. We're like, well, we got the Phoenix. Like, even if you don't like.
Well, and that's the other thing. You're kind of going, well, unintentionally, but we do serve a lot of different beverages.
Yeah.
We have assortment of cocktails and sangria and wine. And we've done that, right from the beginning. We wanted to make sure that couples came in,
Yeah.
that there was more options
And that's what.
for either of
you know,
them. Right.
Yeah. That's what we tell people that haven't been there, like, that don't even like beer. Like, you don't have to drink beer. You can still go have fun and drink whatever you want.
Yeah.
And how, you said right away you kind of
Sorry.
Yeah,
accommodated
we got
that.
the extra license for wine, we call it guest beer, other beers,
Mm-hmm.
and spirits. We got it right away, knowing we wanted couples to come in, not individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's definitely not.
Or individuals, but if they,
I think I've experienced this in most other tap rooms that I've been in, but it's not your typical bar scene. Like
Correct.
it's very,
Right.
Yeah.
it's very relaxed. Now, granted, it can get loud in there, like on a Final Fridays.
Mhm.
Do you guys actually host that, or are you just part part of that? Who actually does the Final Friday?
Downtown Mansfield Inc. hosts the Final Fridays.
Okay.
And they do amazing things for the downtown, just the entire downtown community.
When did they start that?
Actually,
Before we opened.
way before we opened.
Okay, I was
Okay.
gonna-
2009 maybe or 20.
Yeah.
I don't remember. We went to a couple
Yeah.
before we had our concept. They were smaller, but
Were they still in that same space in the Brickyard?
they were brickyard, but up on the hill where it's flat.
Okay.
They were in the flat
There used to be a
spot.
stage in the corner of that lot.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
It
that's
was-
that's the best part about Final Fridays when I used to go was ending up at the Phoenix. So that's like the perfect spot.
Yeah, I tell people that we don't have any direct involvement with who runs it, DMI, but we just happen to be very close to the stage.
For sure.
That's what I tell them. They're like, oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
They
Yeah.
do an amazing job.
For sure. It's always been a great time.
Great food
And you
trucks.
see a
great
lot of
bands.
people that you haven't seen in a
Reunions.
while. It's a
Yep.
really nice place. So when we talked about scaling your business, was there any other influences that you had or routes you traveled to get more people in there, or was it strictly word of mouth or social media, or were you advertising on the radio at the time or anything
Yes.
like that?
I'll just say yes.
Yes to all
Yes,
of them.
yes to
Yes to
all of
all of
it.
the above.
What do you?
We did a lot of, when we first opened, it was all social media. And then you begin to do some print ads, ads with different travel, like Destination Mansfield and Destination Loudonville. The Ohio Craft Brewers Association has the Ohio on Tap app. That's probably one of the biggest parts of statewide marketing that we have. And that is, they have an online app. I don't know if you're familiar with it, called Ohio on Tap. And it has all of the breweries in Ohio that are a part of the Ohio Craft Brewers Association. And you travel the trail with them. And every time you check in or stamp your passport, you get points towards prizes.
That's
and
cool.
it's completely free to participate. And then when you get so many points, you get a sticker. And then so many points, you get a koozie. And then you get like
Does it lead
a
up to
coffee
beer?
cup. It does lead up to when you get so many stamps, there's a private party that you're invited to at
Okay.
a certain point.
No,
And you have
kidding.
3 years to do it in. So it's not like you have to complete
I'm
it.
at 100 for this series.
I think
we
this
got
is our
100
third series.
Stamps, passport stamps.
It does expire after 3 years. So you have to restart the whole series again.
Bummer.
Yeah, you got to get your prizes mailed to you. You got to get on there. I've done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we've done radio. We've done print ads. We've done paid articles. We do a lot of earned media. We send out a lot of press releases. It's
We've done podcasts.
podcasts.
Seems like you do
So-
a lot of collaborations too.
We do. We like to collaborate with people. It's a lot of fun to do different things. Yesterday we had the Humane Society
Mhm.
was on site for their annual dogs, donuts, and drinks. And that's, someone came in and said, well, you guys did a great thing for them. I said, well, this is them. They came in, they just used our space and we were so lucky to have them partner with us and
Yeah.
come to us and say, we'd like to do this. Will you work with us? And how can we make this work for the animal community and for our community? And if you look at social media today, their page, I kept watching it yesterday because I didn't want to put any of our pictures out until their page had been
done
able to
something.
put a lot of
Yeah.
pictures out. And it's just amazing the number of people that we had on site and the number of dogs, the number of good boys and girls, just to say that we're just all these great animals that just, there must have been 150 dogs just kind of on leashes and roaming around with their
Right
with
up
their
Diamond
owners.
Street. 'Cause
Yeah.
we had to close the street a second year in a row.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
It's
The
fantastic.
only road north and south through town. We closed it.
Yeah.
They
I
came
bet
in-
everybody's
yeah.
happy about that with all the construction
sure.
going on.
That was
Worth it though.
It's quick. It's a quick event. It's over with by like noon. Like
Yeah.
your people come in and
It's
It's
Did I
amazing,
read that right?
like-
It said 0.5K.
it was a 0.5K. Yes.
I don't know what that is.
That is around the block basically.
I was going to
Around the
say
block.
0.5.
That's
It's around the block and then they come
that's
back
my
and
kind of
get a,
race.
Yeah.
they
Half
could
K.
get a beer. They had beers from us and they could get a beer or a root beer. They also had root beer for people that weren't and then water that didn't want to consume for people that didn't consume alcohol.
Yeah.
It's a great event. And we do a lot of collaborations like that throughout the year.
Yeah, Camp in the Hop.
We work with Camp New Hop next month. Every month there's a different charity that we're working with. If you go to our website and then go onto the philanthropy page, that's we can see what all of the different charities are throughout the year. So
for the people that don't know, can you explain the whole infirmary part of? That's a pretty big part of your guys' identity. The building infirmary, right? Am I getting that right?
Mortuary.
Mortuary. Sorry, you weren't embalming people, but mortuary.
no, we didn't. They did embalm.
We
people.
embalmed. Yeah.
They didn't cremate. They didn't
We didn't
cremate.
burn
Okay.
them.
I need to get my
That's all right.
death
I'm gonna
facts
look up
right.
infirmary because I'm not even entirely sure.
I think it's medical, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's
infirmary is like
like a-
medical.
It's a prison.
And mortuary, you're right. Mortuary, not called. It's called funeral home. They don't use the term mortuary.
Funeral home and mortuary.
Hmm?
It was a funeral home and a mortuary.
Right. And I don't know.
So the building was built. The building was built or was established in 1914, and it was an extension of the Schreier family furniture factory, furniture makers, and I shouldn't say factory, but the furniture company, which was the building if you go south on Diamond, after the Phoenix. And there's 3 buildings connected. One was a showplace building, one was an administrative building, and the third was their actual where they built the furniture. They were one of the longest running businesses in Mansfield, and it was really common at the turn of the century. If you were the cabinet makers, you also made caskets. So many furniture companies also expanded into mortuary services and funeral homes. The building itself is a little different than some of the buildings downtown. The ceilings are 9 foot high in the basement, which was where they did their embalming and preparations. And then the first level, our tap room was the chapel. And then the third floor, or I should say the upper floor, not the third floor, but the upper floor was the viewing room. And that was, that's where our spirit room is now. It's a solid building. And we were told coming into the building that it was the first fireproof building in Mansfield.
Oh.
And we had someone tell us something yesterday that we didn't know about, which was really kind of cool. But the fireproof doors that were downstairs, there's still 2 of the original doors from 1914, and they're really, really cool. But there's on the wall, there's the mechanism that when it would get hot, that would shut the door.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What did he? A fuse? He said it was a fuse.
Fusible link.
A fusible link.
Dude, you should be up to date on all that.
Yeah, I just got out of class for that. So.
I was wondered.
He said the fusible link was still from 1914 was still
intact,
attached on the wall up above,
and all the pulleys and the mechanisms
Yeah.
to shut the door are all still there. And I didn't know what they were, but
Right.
But
I mean,
the hardware's
they
still
were
there.
cool. The hardware was just cool to leave. Didn't need to take it off the wall for anything. It was really cool. But when he pointed that, he goes, that's a fusible link. He goes, that's what would have caused those doors to close in case of a fire.
That's pretty neat.
So it was a one-stop shop, it sounds like, back in the day.
It was.
It was the last stop shop.
It was.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, for sure.
Good point.
For sure. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think where I was going with this.
Yes, it's haunted.
Is it?
Is that where you were going?
No.
Do you think it's haunted?
It is haunted. Yeah, we do have a ghost.
I was gonna say you can't say no at this point. People go there because they think it's haunted. So
Right.
We do have it. We do have something. We worked Thursday night in the tap room, and we were talking to someone at the bar, and this was really weird because the timing was crazy. Just there was a cap on the back bar, and it flipped off the back bar. And the woman said, "No, we all heard it in turn." She goes, "It just flipped off the back bar by itself." She said, "It just came off the back bar by itself."
But we don't. We're like, yeah, that happens. You know.
I mean, that
Yeah,
happens.
that's fine.
we're used to it at this point.
It just fell. It was, but yeah, there's been some other things too.
Like what?
Like scary things or
No,
I mean,
our
'cause
ghost is friendly.
the
We've
ghost
had
is-
ghost
is-
hunters and
is a drunk probably, right? He just likes the beer and
No, he doesn't. According to, we had several ghost hunters come through and tell us that we do have a spirit, and that the
That's a
spirit
pun.
doesn't like beer, but he likes people, and he likes
Oh.
the people who are there.
so that's good.
he was rattling around when we were doing renovation. There was a lot of instances which mellowed out after.
It has mellowed out a little bit.
That's good. So we talked about the owners of the company, but how big is the operation? Like how many employees, I guess, do you have?
Exact number, we have 6 full time? around
Mhm.
6
6
full
full-time.
time, and then the rest 16 or so, or maybe a little less, are part time. Mainly second job,
Yeah.
bartending. Mostly those part timers are bartenders, but that's not all what a lot of them do. They'll do other
stuff.
A lot of times, if we're not as busy, we'll have someone up, 2 people in the tap room at all times, unless it's not busy. And if one of those 2 can do other brew related stuff, we try to multitask that way.
Cross train.
And it could be part time people can do some of that. Just depends.
When did you start getting into distribution? Because I remember at a certain point, I started seeing your guys' beer canned at local stores.
Yeah, I
and
think
stuff
it's part
like
of the marketing. We just kind of went a few places, like Shelby. I remember the Legends was one of the 1st we just contacted. Like, yeah, we'll take it, but just a little bit here and there. We just kind of picked some places,
Sprinkled it out there a little bit.
sprinkled it,
Yeah.
right, just to get our name out. And then we would sell a couple. I would go down in my truck to Columbus, sell a couple kegs, and then I would pick up guests. I'd just go to breweries, walk in. Can you sell me a keg? And they'd be like, yes or no, whatever. So I was picking up beers from out of area and bringing it to our place too at the same time.
Mm-hmm. To serve.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm trying to do both, buying and selling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wheeling and dealing.
Are you still doing that now, or are you?
Yeah, so that's how we started. It just kind of built on slowly, establishing more draft accounts initially, and then we had some people that were dedicated to sales eventually, and then we started packaging in cans. I'm going to say 2019, 2018. We used a mobile canner who would come in,
Yeah.
package for us, and then we would sell it. We would make a lot of money that way, but then we got our own canning line. 4 years ago, perhaps. So
21,
that we used our established draft customer base to expand on our packaging, our can package products. So we already had routes. We were just doing the same routes, doing draft and cans now, make it a little more efficient.
Yeah.
Who does the art for those? Because I really enjoy it. Is that you?
She's humble. She won't tell, but she does all our graphics and art and social and T-shirt designs. It's just all that.
You do all of it?
All in-house. Yep.
Yeah, I do.
She does. She
Yeah,
won't say
it looks
it.
really good.
I
That's
have
awesome.
lots of. There's a lot of. We have a lot of great partners that we work with that help us get those things done. And companies like Blue Label Digital out of Lancaster does a great job with helping us get the final label out and then printed. And then we work with American Graphics on 42.
Yeah, right.
Right around not too
Yeah,
far
right
from
around the
here.
corner.
Yeah, we've done
And
business with them too.
we love them. They're
So nice.
so nice,
Yeah.
and they just do so much for us.
They do a
and
lot of
we
T-shirts
appreciate
for
it.
us.
They do. They do a lot.
Where did the original logo and name come from?
The original. So we had played around with some different things before we opened, and we picked. We did pick the bird was from Matt Godsell. We had a bony bird before that, and the bony bird makes appearances usually around Halloween. There was concerns with the skeleton phoenix. It might not draw. It might be a marketing deterrent. It could be something that caused people to be, oh, that might be too scary, or it might send the wrong message. And Matt designed a really cool the phoenix. So we used that bird for the majority of that one.
Yeah.
From him.
Former head coach at Madison
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Educator at Madison as well.
Yes.
Retired? I don't know if he's retired. Well, anyway, he can speak on that.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, his
Retired.
wife, or teaches preschool and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I should have asked this earlier, but are you two both originally from this area?
I am Clear Fork grad.
Clear Fork?
Would have gone to Mansfield City and then moved out in the country in 6th grade. And my wife is from Elida near Lima. She can speak on
Elida
that.
with an E, not Kalida with a K, but Elida with an E.
Gotcha.
Two neighboring schools. It was
We
a lot
met
of snow days were a lot of fun because you had to wait for the clarification of which one it was.
But we met at Bowling Green
We did.
State. Yeah.
1993.
You guys were both students there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It's a nice place. It's a very nice campus.
Yeah, cold and windy.
You just love it up there.
Cold. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Super flat up there. It's so weird. Topography just kind of blows my mind because we're from Lucas and it's all hills down there.
It was weird for me. It's just you just go left and right or straight up there. There's no over the hill around.
Yep.
The corner. Yep.
So, excuse me. You guys have scaled your business. You've had to buy all this other equipment. Are you out of room? Are you close? Have you had to add on to anything?
We expanded. The last fermentation tanks we got was maybe 3 years ago, but we haven't expanded lately. Really, we're kind of right along about the same level the last few years.
Yeah, the industry has like in a lot of things after COVID has kind of taken a hit.
For sure.
Palettes have changed. What people are wanting to go out and do and what people are wanting to go out and drink it's changed somewhat. There's a lot of things that, we changed some of the cocktail offerings, some of the wine offerings to try to accommodate for that. Change the beer styles. You try to monitor the trends pretty closely to see what you're going to need to add in or change on your master schedule.
Were you guys affected much by COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're shut down.
So
it was kind of double. I mean, yes, we had to shut our tap room, and we didn't know how long.
Right.
And then other restaurants or bars that sell draft. Well, we're not delivering draft either, so we're not open in house. So we're not selling anything because everything else is closed. We started delivering to homes. Growlers or
we did. We had the growler exchange program. So Governor DeWine's message came out on a Sunday it was March 15th, and this was in place like the next day. You could not sell or you weren't able to go to a tap room anymore. And for most bars and breweries in Ohio at that time, St. Patrick's Day was just 2 days away, and everybody was stocked with liquor and extra kegs and all of the items that you need for a massive event. And then suddenly you're out all of this money, which is really scary because you've stockpiled beers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've dosed kegs so that you have green beer because people have to have green beer on St. Patrick's Day.
For sure. Yeah.
Which is actually that's like a hot button topic in the industry. People are they're either really anti green beer or green beer makes money. So it's one of the two.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
But the state did do a few things with that. They did offer vouchers to help offset the cost of some of the alcohol with buyback programs.
The state did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we had...
It was grants. There was... it got us through it. I mean,
it got us through it.
That probably didn't come until a little later down the road, right?
It wasn't immediate. No,
right.
No.
So you still had to...
We had part-time staff that didn't need our job, so we basically... They weren't put on schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, so we were lucky that way that we didn't have so many full-time
for sure
staff.
Yeah, we didn't have as many full-time staff. So it's
basically, all the part-timers, you're not bartending, and that's fine,
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nobody to bartend too.
Right.
Well, and then we flipped and did an online ordering system by Monday afternoon that was up and running. And then we had delivery routes scheduled out, and that part I think was difficult because some people were still going to work. So when you would go to deliver beer, you would give them a time window of, hey, we'll be there between this time. And then they weren't there. And they're like, well, just drop it at the door. It's like, I can't just leave it at the door.
Can't do that.
I have to check your ID.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is like, well, why do you have to check my ID? It's like, well, I have to make sure that it wasn't like a 13-year-old that ordered a case of beer that we're dropping off on your front porch.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, that I understand. And, there are things that were great with technology that got us through that. And there are things that were that were difficult because everybody was struggling with.
Then you had to put the arrows on and
the reopening procedures.
You had to put the plexiglass on the bar and then arrows on the floor as to what door they could come in and what.
Yeah.
And you're policing people where they're going.
Yeah.
I think we had some of the most amazing customers.
Yeah, mostly.
That supported us the entire time and that tried to support all of the businesses, not just us, but all of the breweries and all of our downtown businesses to get through that, because I don't think people know, it wasn't as long as what people thought it might be. I mean, it was still long enough, but 2 months out of the year is enough to sink a business if you're not active.
Sure. Plenty of them did.
And a lot of them did.
Yeah,
And a lot of them
did.
are still closing now. That there is a trickle down effect with that where it's still, you're still feeling effects financially because you're still navigating those portions, but then now everything is so much more expensive as far as materials
That's the other
and
thing now. Yeah.
and ingredients and, you know, can prices and label prices. And I mean, I know I mentioned our label company before. They've worked really well with trying to get us the best pricing on labels, which is our label prices.
Yeah, 4,000 labels at a time or whatever.
Yeah.
10,000 sometimes we order at a time.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be, 50 cents a piece or
Right,
something.
right, yeah.
So they've worked really hard to get that
Right.
price for us. So great people.
Did you guys see any? I know a lot of companies, and even still now, they claim like supply shortages and stuff like that. I mean,
Mhm.
did you guys run into that, like with ingredients or anything like that involved your process?
I don't think so. With production just going to a halt, there was probably oversupply with malt, hops, all
You
that.
guys probably don't get a
But-
lot of stuff from China, right?
No.
Just stainless steel. Yeah. Some of the larger tanks are made in China. The smaller systems, a lot are, made over here. So it just depends.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But Chinese steel is still a big thing.
big thing.
Yeah.
That's good. I forgot what I was going to ask.
Got beer on the brain.
You got beer on the brain. Are there plans to scale anymore? Has there been thoughts of any other locations or?
Oh, the THC stuff. I don't, that's,
We're still tossing that around.
but as far as beer, no, I don't think we did the Spirit Room. That was our last scale up. It was a big project for us, rather than doing like an offsite. I don't know, doing like a second tap room is kind of it's kind of coming, I don't say come and gone, but it's a tough thing to do.
For sure.
You've seen a lot of breweries open a second tap room and most of them aren't still there. So that was our big project, was the Spirit Room in-house upstairs.
Yeah.
Utilizing the same staff essentially. But since then,
I don't think we're big enough yet for a second tap room.
Was that 3 years ago we opened? 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5. It'll be 3 years in February.
And then we've got enough equipment that needs maintenance. Something,
Yeah. There's
a lot
probably
of, lot of refrigeration
a lot of
equipment.
upkeep
That's a lot to keep up on, just managing what you have and depreciation. So things don't last forever. So
for sure.
It's not a scale up, but it's a keep up on equipment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
It always needs maintenance.
Awesome.
What kind of issues just in the beer industry have you guys faced or heard of, or things coming down the road? Like what kind of hurdles? I mean, other than just serving beer, like what kind of?
Yeah, change in habits. We talked about that. I mean, there's no question. People's habits are changing.
Yeah.
People are drinking less.
There's a lot of it's no alcohol, or which we still sell. We sell a lot of NA beers. A lot of people who used to drink still come in for the atmosphere, whatever.
So you guys make any NA beers?
It's too expensive to make, but I know like some breweries, Ohio breweries, have contracted for other larger scale breweries to put their own brand on it, but it's expensive to make.
Rheingeist just got a medal at GABF yesterday for their non-alcoholic beer.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
So it can be done, but we buy other Ohio-based products mainly. And then you have the cannabis thing going on, hemp-derived products, all that's up in flux on that side.
Yeah,
But breweries can get a license to Department of Ag to make hemp-derived THC beverages.
and they are making those in house.
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense because they already have the infrastructure in place. You
Sure.
already have the tanks. You already know sanitary. You know how to keep things clean, how to make sure things are sanitary. You already know how
Sorry
to
about
package products.
Totally fine.
And it makes sense, just down the line that we also package other products for other people. We package for Cove Tea in Ontario.
Okay.
So they come in with their product and then they work on, they do the packaging and then they pasteurization. So, your breweries are already doing these things. If you have your own canning line and you're able to do that, you already have all of the infrastructure in place to do that. It's just a matter of, do you want to step into that market?
Do you want to take the risk of it being
the risk?
out?
It's a lot of. It
being
is still
banned
risk.
like it just was.
Yeah.
So it was just banned.
DeWine put an emergency order to get it off the shelves.
By
and it has to
Tuesday.
be off the shelves
This coming
by
Tuesday.
By Tuesday.
So you got your Urban Artifact, who 50 West makes it too.
Urban Artifact, 50 West,
they're-
Seventh Sun. There's I believe 12 breweries,
Just shut
11
off
or 12
one day, just
that
like
have
that.
been packaging.
Mhm. There's
And
others,
a lot of them were just getting ready to launch their
Yes.
products. So or had just recently launched their products. Wadsworth just was getting ready to launch their product and they didn't have it packaged yet. So they have tanks and fermenters and nobody really knows what's going to happen is, the entire reason why Governor DeWine went ahead and put the emergency order in place was to force legislators to make some kind of
regulation,
regulation for the
Regulation on
product.
which is
it.
needed.
It is needed. We've been dealing with that for over a year where they were asking for, hey, let's get these parameters in place. And the Ohio Craft Brewers Association has a stance on that. And they had asked for, 5 milligrams per packaging maximum, labeling that had specific requirements like 21 and older,
Yeah.
to make sure that things are legal. So in our industry, we were already, not us personally, because we're not packaging it, but the places that were packaging it already had those kind of safety things in place. There was already some things they were trying to do to keep it a safe product for consumers. And
we started
it's-
selling Urban Artifacts Costalo brand.
it's really
a
good.
couple months ago and doing really well. And we have to take it off the shelf tomorrow.
Now, what's
Wow.
the consistency like? Like, does it have any alcohol at all?
No, you cannot mix alcohol and THC
Okay.
products in the same beverage.
Okay.
Why not?
It's
Well-
because you want to tell?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, alcohol's very strict regulations on alcoholic beverages by the federal government. There's what can be in beer is already regulated.
And
Barley,
THC
and there's
is
certain ingredients you're allowed to put in beer, and then if you don't, you have to get a formula approved by the feds to. If you wanted to put lavender and it wasn't one of the accepted ingredients, you
Okay.
have to
Yeah.
put some forms. But that's one reason.
That's one. The other reason is that cannabis, THC, Delta 9. Well, not necessarily Delta 9. Well, yeah, Delta 9 because it's a hemp derived product. Those are federally illegal still. So your states are regulating that. Your states can say yes, you can have these kind of
Right.
products, but federally you're not allowed to have those products.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a gray area because when
Well, the hemp derived is very gray.
yeah, it's very great.
Yeah.
And I wish that, I really hope that our fellow Ohio breweries get through this.
Yeah.
Great Lakes has
I
Great
think-
Lakes has a product as well.
I think it's just a strong arm tactic to get legislation done in the next.
So
since they're
you're
back in session.
So it's probably going to be like, hopefully it's not going to be a long halt.
Yeah.
That's just
I think
getting them
I
to
think
do
it's
something.
smart for the legislators to get something
Make 'em-
passed that regulates it. So that
So everyone's
more
going to be,
breweries.
yeah.
I'm not saying us, but more breweries would be like, okay, we're on the go. We're going to go
Yeah.
ahead with this now.
You got the green light to
Yeah.
do it.
I think that's why a lot of breweries haven't done
and
it.
just not
Yeah.
just dancing in the gray area like,
Mhm.
well,
Yeah. It's a huge
Yeah.
investment to be
Exactly.
kind of,
and some
Yeah.
of these places, I believe, like you said, like is that their sole product, I guess, or they've been trying to
They
formulate
have
something.
I shouldn't say like with Ohio craft breweries, it's not their sole product, but it's like their extension.
Okay.
It's addressing that need for other beverages for consumers that are asking for things other than craft beer.
Mhm.
So if you have something in your tap room, if you've got a person who doesn't want craft beer and they don't want a cider product and they don't want an A, but they really want to have something like a Costalo red cream soda with Delta 9, that's available to them. And it's just one way to, if they're packaging their own, it's another product that they're able to distribute. And
And not only breweries are making hemp derived beverages, there's standalone businesses.
there are standalone
I didn't wanna
businesses.
take-
I
cut them
shouldn't
out.
say there's not, but
There is in Ohio. Yeah.
yeah, there are in Ohio. But Great Lakes has a product that they put out a few months ago as well.
Is it out? I mean,
It's in their tap room only.
okay.
What is it?
THC
Just-
beverage.
It's a seltzer, right? Is it lemonade?
Oh,
It was like a strawberry lemon lemonade elderflower
Really good.
seltzer.
So
Yeah.
they're carbonated like a
They can be
seltzer.
seltzers
Just like a
with no
soda.
sugar. They can be soda, like pop, like
Yeah.
like cherry soda. We have the
red cream
Costello makes a
soda,
really good
grape
cherry
and-
5
yeah.
milligram sodas. So I heard. I don't know where I was
Yeah.
going.
What's some?
Oh gosh, it sounds like it's all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah,
For sure.
so,
For sure.
so
For people that want to start doing like following in your footsteps, what's some advice you would give them to watch out for pitfalls? I would say.
Good question. Where do you start? I think when we started, we researched by asking a lot of questions at different breweries. What do we need to do and all this stuff. We did that. There's a lot more information now. There's a lot more breweries, a lot of people in the industry willing to help give you advice with getting your licensing, and it just depends on your business model. What do you want to do? Are you going to quit your job? Are you not? Are you going to have a tap room? Bigger margins in a tap room. There's so many different things depending on what you want to do, and then the market going forward. You have to take a guess on that. I guess what are you going to sell? What are people going to want?
Yeah,
it's definitely not. I think it's a different compared to now versus when we opened. It's very different now to open up a brewery, and I think it's something where when we opened, there were less than 100 breweries in Ohio, and there's over 400 now.
Really?
And there's probably been at least 100 closed in between that time. But it's a little bit of everything. You have to really plan ahead. It's not just you're going to make a great product, because it's not just the product. It's also your staff. It's your packaging. It's your marketing. It's your consumer base, reaching out to them and making sure that you're connecting with them. And it's making sure that your product is safe. Every year there's you hear about a brewery who's had to dump stuff. I mean, and to be fair, it's common in the industry because things happen. Yeast decides not to do its job, or it changes and your beer doesn't taste right and you have to dump it. But
have you guys had to do that?
Few times.
Few times. I mean,
one hand.
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm fading.
It does happen. I mean, and there were some pretty big ones that had some major recalls in the last couple of years where it just takes one small thing.
We had bad ingredients we purchased. We had a yeast that we had bricks of yeast, and it was bad. It had been maybe on the ship, on the shipping, it got too hot, but you don't know. I didn't know it was not viable. And then it's too late 3 days later to save it. That happened one time.
Is there any testing that goes in before you put it all in the batch, or?
Well, that's the only living organism that we add. So as far as that, we don't test dry yeast, and you can buy liquid yeast, which would be, you can check viability when you trust your supplier, and it's all really what it was about, trust.
Yeah.
Visibly now we look at the yeast as we put it in, and it has a certain look to it. If you bought bread yeast, you wouldn't want it to be, it has a certain texture to it. And if it gets lumpy or has a different color, and I kind of noticed that it was a little different color and didn't have the same consistency, but I didn't think about it. And we found the lot number and got rid of all the rest of it in time to not, have more problems.
Yeah. There were two on that batch that we'd used. They were brewed back to back. That hurt because it was two big batches of beer that, as far as production, it set us back for about a month. And then you have the insurance when you're trying to get your insurance company and trying to get that company to pay out because you just lost time on not just ingredients, but you lost profits.
The best thing we learned that if that happens, you brew another batch as soon as you can.
Yeah. Dump it, clean the tank and brew it again.
Just try to get your losses that way rather than trying to make insurance claims.
Right.
You can't wait for that. No.
Because they want to see the tank and they want, I don't know, whatever. You learn.
So what's it like running the tap room part of it? Like, I notice you guys don't use the term bar, you use tap room, but like managing the bar aspect of it, because
that's more Scott's thing. So we don't. That's not our direct. But obviously we're shift managers. We're on the floor. We're managing part timers on the floor, as far as that goes. But it's similar. Making sure we have what we need ready to go in a clean environment. With running water, the water was shut off in the city again yesterday, just for a bit,
just for a little bit.
Right during that, we had 200 people outside, and we didn't have restrooms running for about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but that came back, so thankfully.
We have a fantastic staff. They all go above and beyond, and making sure that the products that are done are necessary. Troubleshooting when needed. If they see something that needs taken care of, they either just take care of it or let you know, hey, this I can't do this. This is something that needs to be addressed, and they are fantastic. I mean, we're really lucky to have the crew that we do. They all go above and beyond, and we're just grateful for them, and we're grateful for the ability that so many of them can just handle a situation. Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed that, at least personally, I appreciate, and I don't know the reason why, but I haven't been there in a while, but when I went to cash out and I paid with my card, there was no option for a tip, I believe.
Right.
And you don't see that in many service-based industries. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
right.
I mean,
so part of it, I kind of mentioned something earlier about multitasking, having people doing more than one job. A typical job is just bartending. We don't do table service, so that's not something we do. But if we have an employee upstairs and they're capable of doing keg washing and it's not busy, well, keg washing isn't a typical wage. So, part of it, it's good for us and our employees to have just a standard hourly wage that they get no matter what they're doing. So that's part of it. We do cash tips. We found an opportunity. Well, what we can do with cash tips, we'll go do a monthly charity. So we have 12 charities that we choose.
That's awesome.
And they get the cash tips for the month.
Mm-hmm.
So and our price is $6.50 for our tier 1 pints. It might seem high, but you've already paid your tip. Essentially, it's just $6.50. You put $6.50 in a counter. That's it. It's not $4. I'm going to tip $1.50 or whatever. So it takes a time for the customer to get used to that. But
for sure, and I knew the bartender at the time, and I'm like, "Where's the, how do I tip you?" Because I don't carry cash. I really don't at all. But on the flip side, I feel like the tipping industry has kind of gotten out of hand, just because. I know things are more expensive nowadays. And then
the point of sale apps now are like, the first screen you see is tip. And that's even going further. It's like, okay, how do I get out of this? Now it's guilting you into getting out of it.
For sure. And you feel guilty.
Are you really sure you want to get out of this?
Go to zero. Where is zero? Okay, I'll get $1.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Exactly.
It just depends. No, it still works for people who are, I think they might have changed how people are paid. Well, maybe not yet. Taxes on tips and all that stuff. But that was something that works for us. And I know you don't see it a lot. I don't see it.
You don't see
it, but
it's very few and far between, for sure.
I think that's my take on it. I don't know if you have something to add.
Oh, no, no, that's the same.
Okay.
So our charity this month is Camp Nahop. And we have a beer that will be coming out later this month that will partner with them on their Fuzzy Fandango 50K outdoor race.
Cool.
I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the Fuzzy Fandango?
No. I am not.
It is a race over in the Loudonville area.
Trail run.
It's a trail run. It is. Some people do 50K. Some do 25.
25. They have a 3 miler, a 5K. They have like 4 or 5 different.
Yeah, they have 4 or 5 different levels.
Lengths.
They're fantastic. It's just fantastic. It's So we have the
Don't Pet the Bear.
Don't Pet the Bear, which is a lot. It's
trail mix brown
trail
ale.
mix brown.
Call it.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
That sounds exciting.
It
does.
It is a lot of fun.
We do the 5K.
We do the 5K.
Yeah.
We'll do the 5K with it. And he ran it. I walked it. And I walked with a
hilly.
friend.
It's
so
crazy.
hilly.
Is it a Mohican?
Yeah.
It's in the Mohican area. It's right next near the lodge on private land.
Okay.
But the Mohican Lodge right over the hill from them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when is that?
November, second Saturday.
It's the second Saturday in November, I believe. Yeah. Okay. And then we have the December charity is the Reformatory, the Ohio State Reformatory.
Okay.
And January charity is we'll be donating tips to the Humane Society of Richland County. So, and which is
Yeah, there's a different one every month.
There's a different one every month. So
that's awesome.
It's neat. I mean, it's I think it's something that the community really appreciates and they embrace. People will often say, well, they'll be leaving a couple of dollars. They'll think, for the beer, and they'll be like, oh, well, we need to explain to them we're non-tipping. And they'll say, oh, well, they ask for an explanation. So you tell them what's going on. And then they turn around and they'll pull out $10 or $20 and say, well, then give this to the charity. Give this. I like that charity. Please give this to them.
Yeah.
And so we just drop it in the container for the charity, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool. I feel like just looking on the outside looking in, I feel like the community has really supported you guys and embraced you guys. And they really appreciate, you guys giving back to all these other charities and organizations in the town. So,
yeah, we've had so many groups come in just to either hang out after work or have meetings or, get together, that kind of stuff. Just getting people together has been our theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's working out for sure.
I think we're really lucky to be in the community that we're in. There's not a lot of, when you go to Columbus, there's, 50 breweries. When you go to Cleveland, there's, 48 breweries. When you come to Mansfield, there's us, and then there is Duality Brewing that's going to be opening up soon. As far as opening a tap room, they're doing kegs.
I don't know if they've leaked that out, but I saw tap room like a bar construction in there. So
they're working towards that. Let's just say that they're working towards that.
Are they in Mansfield?
They are. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Shelby and Uniontown and Ashland.
Mm-hmm.
Black Fork and Shelby and Uniontown and Ashland, those are the closest breweries we have. We often joke that we're like the Bermuda Triangle of Ohio because there's not a whole lot in our area. And then, you go up to Cleveland, you can go to like 50 different places, and Columbus, the same thing. And then there's our area, and we just have a few, and it's exciting to have some new things like the distillery coming in and another brewery coming to Mansfield, and having Black Fork, which, by the way, they celebrated 2 years yesterday.
Has it been 2 years?
It has been 2 years. Yeah.
They are literally right across the tracks from my fire station. So we got to see that whole place go up, and we did all their inspections and everything. Okay. So yeah, it's a cool place too.
It is really cool. And they're great people. Yeah. I don't think we mentioned this before, but one of the things that I think we're really grateful for is just the relationships with not just our community, but also within the community of brewers. When we first opened, Marty Linden, and I tell this story a lot, but it's the perfect example. Marty Linden invited, who was brewing for Millersburg at the time, invited Duncan to come over, and just watch how he brewed. Ask, what questions do you have?
He brewed on homebrew, but
right? Yeah.
And Marty was just like, well, why don't you come spend the day with me? You can come through, and I can go through things with you. And Marty invited me along, and not every industry is friendly towards women. Craft beer is one of those industries that women have really kind of come forward in it. But Marty was just like, hey, this is why I do this. What do you think? And he included me in every conversation, which was, it was nice. It wasn't just, him talking to Duncan and me just kind of hanging out in the background.
Right.
He just really kind of was a nice tutor on, I don't want to say tutor, but Mentor is the right word for
everybody
Duncan.
Needs a good mentor.
But the industry's like that for everybody. You want people to come in and ask questions because we want to see every single brewery succeed. You want to see everybody have great beer, and you want to see everybody, having that opportunity to serve their community. And everybody really does try to lift each other up. So
that's good. that was I don't know, scary for me. Before I brewed, I didn't know how to use the equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No instruction manual on it.
That's so expensive.
So that's the scary part. Like, I was counted upon to produce good beer.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. And we got through it fine. But
must have been a great feeling after the first large scale brew like that. And
don't drink and brew. I learned that early on.
I can understand that.
Got to be completely,
especially with all the science and everything else that goes into it.
Clear headed to get through the process. There's a lot going on. Certainly. Yeah. But that was a good feeling. Certainly. Yeah. People coming in. It's just weird feeling. You got 100 people in the bar and they're drinking something you made.
Yeah. It's like cooking a meal for somebody times like 100
like that.
Because everybody's drinking your beer.
Yeah.
I like that.
How do you get where do you get like your inspirations? Like, just to make different beers. Like, I'm going to try this. Like,
yeah, we've always collabed. I mean, it's not just us two, but customers will tell you what they want, or why don't you make this anymore? And well, we you try to come up with a new release every week or two. Not new, just something either that we did last year and it's rotating. To put something new on is hard because we've done so many different beers.
Sure.
To add a different one can be difficult. But I tend personally, traditional styles is what I always try to do, and then coming up with new stuff, new fruits and spices, and
give me the funk,
hot pepper, and
I like that.
mole stouts, and she's coming at me with this stuff. I'm like, it challenged me to put the ingredients together to get that flavor profile we're looking for. We call them kitchen sink beers, but we don't call them that. But sometimes it's like trying to come up with different combinations on the non-traditional side. So we try to balance that. We don't try to do just hazy IPAs or just fruit beers but we've always done just about everything.
I had my first, I think it was jalapeno beer last week. That was interesting because I've never had a beer.
Was it Chris's jalapeno
It was his.
beer?
It was his.
It's so hot. It's so
it is.
hot.
He's got to tone it
so
down on
hot.
that heat
A little bit.
It's so good, but it's so hot. It was
I'm
so
down on that
spicy.
heat.
It was so good.
But we're gonna rip on him. No,
That is.
No,
that,
I don't mean that in a
No,
bad way. It was
he told
good.
me-
It was good.
okay. I don't know what it was, but because I did 20 grams of habanero. Like, that sounded like a lot, or whatever it was, and it was so hot. I go, well, let me blend it with the other beer, half and half. It's still, I can handle heat, but yeah, he scaled it back. The next one was like 2 grams of habanero powder, and that stuff. Using pepper is very difficult.
For sure.
We've switched to a product from Amaretti that has the heat dialed in, and when you add this much, it gives you that much heat.
You know what it's going to
When
be.
you're dealing with
consistency,
actual pepper powders, it's all over the map. Jalapenos can be hot or not hot. I'd rather use real pepper. It's still real pepper, but that is hard when you're using pepper, getting it just right.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But I do look forward to that when we're up in school. We'll be in the hotel lobby, and he'll have a whole spread of his whatever he's brewed.
He makes some fantastic
Oh,
beers.
he's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
He really has a nice portfolio that he's developed and recipes. He does fantastic beer. Fantastic.
Do you think he'll open his own tap room at some point?
I'm not going to answer that.
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
He certainly has a nice spot. That I didn't want to advertise that either, but
yeah, for sure.
He's doing
well,
something.
We were in
fun.
where were we at? We were in a tap room called Buffalo Rock, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and that's in Waterville.
Is that Perrysburg?
Waterville,
Waterville.
I think. Maybe it was. No, I think it was Waterville. But we were there, and he's like checking it all out and everything. I'm sure looking at other things that I have no idea what they are, but you could kind of tell like it's in his mind. I would say.
Yeah,
I would say.
So
he's got great beers. So
yeah, I haven't had a bad one yet.
No, they're all fantastic. They're all fantastic.
So what's your most popular beer that you guys brew?
Redemption IPA by volume.
By volume,
I would say
it's pretty good.
Maybe in-house, maybe not. It's on all year. So we have like 6 that are on. So it's now 8 that are mostly on all year. So it's going to be one of those. But we have, like I say, Ferryman Oatmeal Stout and Redemption IPA.
Ferryman's
and
my
they're flagships, but they're on all the time.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Everything out of house rotates a lot. Krampus Candy.
Krampus Candy.
Right. The White Stout. That's probably out of house the biggest beer. We just don't have it on in-house on tap all the time. So that's probably why.
Krampus is Krampus came about one year at the holidays, and we put it on, and it was a mint version, and people kept asking for it. It was one of those one-offs, and people just kept saying, "Oh, when are you going to bring that back? When are you going to bring that back?" And then we did a Christmas in July, and it was like, well, if we put on a beer with mint chocolate in the summertime, we're going to be sitting on that after the event. It's not going to go anywhere. So we changed the recipe a little bit, and I should say he changed the recipe a little bit and adjusted it to using Highlander grog,
coffee beans,
and
vanilla, raw chocolate nibs,
it just took
Yeah.
off. And that was probably, I think that's probably one of the beers that we've had that still people are like, that's the one that they ask for when they're like, I can't find it to go. I can't find it to
At
go.
Stoff's, we get it through Relax Coffee House, but they get it from Stoff's out of Columbus. So I'm just thinking if they went out of business, I don't know. I'd have to
Find
It's
something.
been a good thing. We've used a lot of their coffee over the years. I don't
We've
even know if they
used a
know
lot
that.
of
We
it.
need to
It'd
let
be
them
fun
know.
to find out how many pounds we've actually used through the last 10 years of that.
It's really good coffee. It's a flavored coffee bean, but it's really amazing.
That's another can with great artwork on it.
Mm-hmm.
That had different artwork to start with.
Did it?
It did. When we had it in house, it had a
version.
It had a cuddly little Krampus on it with a little white one with like turquoise and pink in house.
Yeah.
It was cuddly.
And it was just it was adorable. It was just like a tiny little legs and fluffy body. And then when they went to can it, it's like we can't put this label on a can because it's going to appeal to children.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that it's not. We have to keep it within.
And to make him a little edgier.
Yeah.
So we made him a little edgier, so he's more,
He's got the forked tongue and
a little gur.
Yeah.
But not overly gur, so that it's gonna make people be like, I don't want that beer.
Yeah, it's not witch's blood or something
It's
weird.
not witch's blood. It's not, like some kind of like screaming demon or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just, a white Krampus with, we kept the aqua and we moved it into more of an aqua and navy kind of a theme with it, white, aqua, and navy. And then we do a couple of events around with the Krampus each year. Krampus night is coming in December. That's probably one of the. It has a very. It has a following where they come out just for that day, for that week actually.
Yeah.
Because we'll do tasters and candy and cookie and beer flights with that week too. But we've had people come out in their full German.
Krampus.
Yeah.
Oh my
outfits.
gosh. The we have our white fluffy mask that goes out, and we have like some of the actual Krampus costumes. But then there was somebody that came in one year, and he was so tall, and his costume had these big horns, and he had this gigantic red cape, and it was just like, it was like his hands, like he played the entire time. He didn't break with the costume or take the mask off the whole time.
That's impressive.
It was impressive, and it was really cool though, because we have a lot of people that come out and they want to participate in that. It's big in Cleveland. There's a huge following in Cleveland. So
we're getting it popping around Mansfield for Krampus, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll celebrate it.
For sure.
Why not?
Duncan, I know you had mentioned that only certain ingredients can go into beers and you have to get like a permit or an exemption or something. Do you guys find yourself doing that a lot, like getting the exemptions for the different ingredients, or do you try to stick to the original bill?
Right. There was a change in federal, it's called TTB. It's Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. They regulate basically what goes in beer, and they created a list, an exempt list, and that list expanded a lot, like fruits and a lot of different spices. So it's pretty easy to use what's on that list.
Okay.
So that changed a lot with less formula.
Gotcha.
Requirements, or new formula requests.
Right. Gotcha.
it's like 6 pages of ingredients now.
Oh, so you gotta.
There's a pretty broad there's a pretty broad
Like you could only use hops, yeast,
ingredients
malt,
list.
barley, corn, oats. There was
And
other
there's-
grains
you
you
can scroll
could use,
through.
Okay.
but
Well,
now
there's all
they
sorts
were
of stuff in there.
bombarded with formulas, so they did this just to ease
Like,
off
quit
on the,
asking. We're going to just publish this
ease off on
list.
the paperwork.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, it allows for a lot of creativity
For sure.
with recipes. And we do still have to be kind of careful and just make sure things are on there when we pulled in a few.
Like we buy from
Random.
a company called Amaretti, and they've already done formulas on a lot of their extracts. So it'll say TTB approved. And that's another way, I don't say get around it, but a lot of these suppliers have gone through the TTB to get their products exempted.
Oh, okay.
So
That just helps you out too.
That was
Very
quite a
much
few years
so.
ago, but that helped a lot.
For sure. That's awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like you want to start brewing beer.
I might. I thought about it a while ago, but dude, I have so many other irons in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Can always
really
pop
do.
in on a brew day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys affiliated? And I know Chris is part of that Mansfield Homebrewers Club. Are you guys affiliated with that?
Mhm.
Because I know
was a
that
member
they
when-
like hold meetings there and stuff.
When I started homebrewing, not long after, we had moved to Mansfield from Columbus in '99, I think, or 2001, whatever. But I found out about a
99.
homebrew club in Mansfield because homebrewing was not a thing, really. It was very small. So I joined the Mansfield Homebrew Club around 2001. And we've been
I didn't realize it was
basically
going for that long.
members. Yeah, it started in like 94, 95.
They celebrated their 30th. It's this year, 30th anniversary this year.
95 then. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been part of the club and we host meetings. It's like the fourth Monday or last Monday of every month at our place. So
You looking for new membership, or do you not want me to let people know about this?
We've got membership forms in the tap room. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
they're still hanging on our cork board.
Mhm. Yep.
They welcome new members, and their meetings in the summer are out on our beer garden.
Cool.
Plenty of room, and they have cookouts every Monday. They have a meeting. They'll have food or whatever.
Yeah.
In the winter, it's in the tap room.
They have
from 6:30 to 9 usually.
They have meetings that are geared more towards talking about products and evaluation processes and techniques. And then there's also about 2 weeks later they do there's another meeting during the month where it's a social where they go out to different breweries and try different products there and just have a social hour.
Who's the president of the club? You guys might know
Hmm.
him. Anyway,
Chris is the
Chris
president.
is. We
Yes.
mentioned Chris earlier. He's
Yeah.
the president of the Mansfield Homebrew Club.
Yeah.
He's done a great job. He's the Wednesday night get-togethers, like happy hours they do, and
Yeah.
he tries to keep.
He and Julie both do a
He
nice
gets
job.
guests, informational guests that he does.
Yeah.
And, it's really neat.
They bring in speakers, educational programming, which is really kind of cool. And I think that's important because then it's not just, it does encourage other people to want to come in because you want to talk to or listen to. Like they have the Ohio Hop Brewers Guild. We've set up and talked to the meetings before too. So it's a lot. They do a lot of great things and they support other organizations in the community, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
Right on.
Well, Duncan, Carmen, is there anything else you'd like to talk about or shout out, or are you gearing up for anything else that you'd like to promote or anything like that?
We have our Phoenix Ski Club. We can sign up for that. I don't know if you have information to give.
Oh yeah,
give on
yeah.
that.
If you go to our website, there is right on the homepage. There's a link to sign up to join our ski club for snow trails. So if you want to ski all winter long and get 20% off your lift pass, it's there available for you there.
Very awesome.
It's a lot of fun. We have some meetups coming up in the next week or two, actually in the next 2 weeks, and then.
We just closed out. We just filled our golf outing.
The golf outing that's coming up this weekend is closed. That's going to benefit the Ohio Bird Sanctuary.
Yeah,
we have haunted tours through the end of the month. Those have been a lot of fun so far. And
are you responsible for that pun? The ales? What is the tour thing? Was that
Ales
yesterday?
from the Afterlife?
Is that, yeah. I appreciate a good pun.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Just
appreciate a good pun.
We've done a lot of puns.
Yeah.
Our highest performing collection of puns was a few years ago with when marijuana was legalized, and it just happened that we were releasing a beer named Mary Jane the next day. So
it was one of our beers that we already had.
It was a beer that we brewed. It's won
Mary
awards.
Jane's grave reference.
It's a reference to Mary Jane's grave, and
that's
the number
funny.
of people that were messaging. Does this have? Do you have cannabis in this beer? All these things came in. So then we put out a big letter, and it was so fun to write that because we just put in every pun and every kind of reference to
like weed reference
marijuana that we could.
Oh, that was hilarious.
And it just was.
Yeah. I'm gonna be blunt. I said, put that in there. I was looking up references.
We're
That's funny.
trying to find out all the references we could find for that.
That's great.
But
Right.
and then today's post is about the friends that we met, FRENS, like the dog friends, good boys and girls.
Oh, we have the booze bags in the summer, which I like.
The booze bags in the summer are always a lot of fun. BOOS.
And scary booze.
Yeah.
Bags.
So
That's awesome.
Cocktails.
I dig
Frozen
it.
cocktails.
Oh, I will say we had a tour group that came through yesterday. And on part of the haunted tour that we have, we talk about, like the apps and the things that are supposed to be able to transcribe ghost conversations and when they're saying things. And I put the phone down on the counter and we were talking about the things upstairs. And this was really strange because it started popping up words that were specifically related to two of the people in the tour, physician, and I'd have to pull up the app, but it was several different words.
Medic.
Physician, medic, and one worked at the hospital and one was a medic. And there were 3 or 4 other things that they mentioned like that, but that was really kind of a cool experience, like to have that happen in the middle of one of those tours.
Yeah.
So
freaky.
Super freaky.
very much so.
Spirit room's a pun, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double
Spirit
meaning
room.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do a lot of that. Yeah.
I do.
I'm a
I mean,
fan,
I know
yeah.
they say that it's supposedly like the lowest form of humor sometimes, but it's a lot of fun too. So
Yeah.
For sure.
Keep it up, please.
we
Yeah,
like
For all of
puns.
our sakes.
We do appreciate it.
Cool.
All right. Well, we just want to say thanks for coming on. We
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it's
appreciate the
fun.
conversation.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. We can banter about anything,
Yeah.
anytime. So
Same.
Yeah.
you
That's
want to
really
change the
awesome.
subject matter, we'll talk about anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be about brewing or whatever.
Perfect. All right. Well, Jared.
I'm good, brother.
All right.
See you guys.
Later.
All right, bye.